Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Yesterday's markets got rocked by soft inflation data and US and China trade breakthroughs. But overnight tensions in the Middle East are shaking things up. Stick with me as we break down what is driving stocks, where the S&P 500 is heading, and exact plays you need to crush it in today's session. Let's make some money today. So first off, let's talk about something that really gained markets. And honestly, once it came out, markets started spiking. So first off, the CPI. So rose 0.1% month over month, below the expected of 0.2% year over year. It hit 2.4%, up 2.3% in April, matching the estimates. Core CPI, so excludes food and energy, also up 0.1% month over month, below the 0.3% forecasted. Year over year, it was 2.8%, slightly under the expected of 2.9%, but that wasn't too bad. Key drivers, so shelter costs, so plus 0.03% month over month were the main push for inflation, while energy prices like gasoline down 1% month over month, and tariff sensitive items, autos, and clothes and stuff like that dropping, keeping things tame. So inflation's close to Fed's 2% target, but tariffs from Trump's policies might spike prices later this summer. For now, businesses seem to be absorbing costs or using existing inventories. Market vibes, so stocks ticked up, treasury yields dipped, and people are saying weak demand might be offsetting tariff impacts. So US and China trade talks, a preliminary trade framework was announced easing export controls and tariff tensions. Investors cheered the de-escalation, lifting US stocks, especially in energy, up 1.77%, and consumer discretionary up 1.19%. Also, we got some good news with rare earth materials, a deal with China. So we had a rally after the inflation data and the good news with trade talk, and we just got good news and good sentiment overall. But I think with the lack of trade news and numbers, it brought big money down and started forming a bigger sell yesterday, bringing those highs down and losing a lot of gains overall in the stock market. Keep this in mind for today during your trading. We might continue the selling and go down even more, and or we might retest those highs from yesterday. So keep that in mind. And you can make money both ways. And I'll be giving you guys some plays and supports and resistance later on in the video. But overall, man, just have your patience today. We have some gaps to fill downwards now, especially some big gaps to fill downwards. And we got some gaps to go back upwards. And then if we can break past that 6,050 level, we can see some bigger gains upwards and a retest of those highs and maybe even break through those today if we can start breaking up. So to become profitable over time, you have to always keep your knowledge up and always keep learning. So use this code on the screen to get 50% off my option course and any other course that I have. Limited time only. You'll make your money back within the first trading day. I keep these cheap. So overall, stock market performance, the S&P 500 dipped down 0.27% to 6,022. NASDAQ fell 0.5%, snapping a 3-day win streak as big tech sold. Dow also dipped a little bit as well. So now let's talk about some earnings a little bit. So these ones came out yesterday though, so GitLab tanked 13% on weak Q2 outlook, and GameStop dropped 5% after missing revenue estimates. And basically GameStop did indeed announce buying some more Bitcoin. So keep that in mind overall. But GameStop is having a big sell. So honestly, hopefully you guys didn't have any call options overnight. We're at $25, which is honestly a decent level. I personally like loading up at GameStop at that $20 level. So I'll be looking at that 21 to 23 for my long term to load up on some more. Is honestly GameStop normally rebounds back to that 30 every now and then, and you could just buy and sell, make a lot of money, and or just hold it for the long term. So Lutnick confirmed no changes to current Chinese import tariffs, with trade deals still waiting leader approval. So we're basically just waiting on Xi to approve the trade talks, and everything that basically got changed to say this tempered some of the optimism and bringing everything down. But if you look at the top, fear and greed index, we're still agreed at 62, which isn't too bad. So global growth outlook, World Bank cut its 2025 global growth forecast to 2.3%, down 0.4%, citing tariff risk and uncertainty. This could weigh on sentiment overall. So quantum computing stocks, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang comments on quantum computing's inflection point, boosting pre-market moves for quantum computing up 8% and Rigetti computing up 4%. So keep these stocks on your radar to the upside if you want to make some money. So United Health downgrade to neutral, citing Optum Health concerns. Price cut to 312 from $356. So honestly, United Health did indeed get down, and honestly, it is a good price point still. But at the same time, I would not play United Health for now unless you see a clear breakthrough or some good news overall for United Health. So what to keep an eye out for today. So on the stock calendar, economic data, the US producer price index, the PPI at 8:30, 1 hour before market opens. May data could signal wholesale inflation trends. A softer than expected read might reinforce Fed cut bets, boosting stocks. US initial jobless claims, hour before market open. Labor market health is key. Strong data could temper rate cut hopes. Treasury budget, so at 2 p.m. Deficit updates might influence bond yields. So we also had earnings for Oracle, and this this could boost stock market outlook overall. And we beat expectations a decent amount, and bringing the stock up, and it's holding up pretty strong because normally you'll see a buy and then maybe sell. So honestly, for today, when market opens, look for it to either sell some more or sell at overall, and or the buyers come in even more. So keep Oracle on your radar for today. You might be able to make some money off this stock and or just other stocks related to it. So some other things to watch, trade talk updates, any news on the US trade deal finalized, awaiting leader approval, like I said before, could swing markets. Watch for headlines from Trump or Chinese officials overall. And the ongoing Middle East tensions, geopolitical risk. Middle East developments could drive volatility, especially in energy markets. Keep an eye on oil prices, WTI and Brent. So keep that in mind overall for today. So man, the heat map isn't really looking as good as, the past couple of days, but sector focus. So look at quantum computing. Stocks like quantum computing or Getty may see continued momentum after Huang's comments. Energy was strong yesterday. Watch if Middle East tensions push oil higher. Tech, monitor for a rebound after yesterday's pullback, especially around Oracle's earnings. Technical levels, so the S&P 500, look at the support at 6,000. And if we could break 6,050, a break above 6,050 could trigger all-time highs. VIX, also look at VIX, market sentiment, watch the VIX for volatility spikes. Morgan Stanley notes lower trade policy, uncertainty boosting confidence, but Middle East risk could counter this. Trading tips, so some bullish plays, look at energy, XLE, or consumer stocks like XLY, ETFs if trade optimism persists. Quantum computing stocks could be short-term momentum trades, bearish and cautious plays, hedge with the VIX calls or defensive sectors, utilities and healthcare if Middle East tensions escalate. Intraday, scalp around the PPI release. Fades on overbought tech names like Nvidia might work if resistance holds. Longer term, corporate bond funds could be a play if with yields expected at 6 to 6.5% over the next 6 months. With that being said, man, let's get to some supports and resistance. And honestly, man, let's hope the stock market keeps on going up, man. That's what it's been looking like naturally. And that's how it used to be like a year ago. With that being said, to the upside, look at 602.5. That 605 level, if we could break that 606.5, we can continue to the upside. Look at 610 after that and 615. To the downside, look at that 600. If we break below that 600, we can get down even lower, maybe 598.5, 597, and 595. Look at all those levels today. Have your patience. And I do recommend, since it's Thursday, buy at least 2 weeks ahead just to make your trade safer, Next, we're going to talk about Apple. Apple sold off a bunch with a bunch of other stocks. Honestly, I'm not looking for a rebound yet unless I obviously see one for Apple. But normally Apple does rebound maybe down to that 597 or 197, 197 to that 195. And then we start making a rebound. You can make a lot of money. But with that being said, man, to the downside, look at 198.5, 197.5, 196.5, and that 195 level flat. To the upside though, look at 199.5, 200 is going to be a key level, but we basically broke past that pretty easily yesterday. That 201.5, 202, and then all the way up to that 203.5, and then 205 for Apple overall. Have your patience with Apple. Don't overtrade. Apple isn't really looking too good right now, especially WWDC, kind of disappointed. They're behind with AI and stuff like that. So keep that in mind for Apple overall. Next, we're going to talk about is NVIDIA, a stock that was moving upwards in a constant trend, kind of slow, but still moving upwards. Now we're kind of breaking some key levels. So honestly, for NVIDIA, have your patience. But honestly, I'm not really too confident with NVIDIA right now. But to the upside, if we do start breaking to the upside, 142.5, 143, 144, and then all the way up to 144.5. And look at the highs of 145.3, and then 145.5, and then 147, 148, and then that 150 level for NVIDIA. But honestly, just have your patience with NVIDIA overall. Next, we're going to talk about is Palantir, because Palantir did break up a bunch and still kind of held pretty strong even during yesterday's sell-off. We did sell off a decent amount, but 136, we almost broke that 140 level, so I will be watching that tomorrow. But to the upside for now, look at 137.5, 138.5, 139, and that 140 level finally. If we could break above that, look at 145 to that 150. To the downside, look at 135.5, 134, 132.5, 131, and that 130 level for Palantir. Palantir is probably looking like the safest right now. I do recommend getting into that. Tesla, man, we did have a decent sell-off and broke some levels, but honestly, not too many from yesterday because we still got some gaps to fill from yesterday, or not yesterday, but the day before. We still got some gaps to fill there. So to the downside, if we do keep on selling, look at that 319, 315, 310, and then all the way down to 300 level for Tesla overall. But if we start buying back, look at that 329 to 330, 335, 340, and then maybe even that 350 next. But not for today. I don't think we can hit 350 today unless we get some great news. Bitcoin, man, we did get to some like highs yesterday, almost highs, not really highs overall, but that 110 was crazy to get. And honestly, if we just look at how it moves, we can get 110 pretty fast with Bitcoin overall. So honestly, if we continue to sell, you can make some plays downwards, or if we can continue up and go back to that 110, you can make a decent amount of money. And some stocks like MSTR, Coinbase, and IBIT are great stocks to watch overall, and you can make a lot of money with these. Like right now, if you would have bought, if you could buy it at 61.6 and then buy it at 62.7, that's $1 in the money. And honestly, let's look at some option plays real quick. We'll go to June 20th. We look at the delta for in the money plays. And if you guys don't know what the delta is, every time a stock moves around $1, this is how much money your contract will go up, estimated. So it's around minus 40, of course, for the puts, but you'll make 40 cents more. And then for the calls, it's 60 cents more. But with that being said, man, the stock market isn't looking too bad overall. Thanks for watching the video. Smash the like button, subscribe if you guys are new. Let's get to 500 subs. And I'll see you guys in the next one, guys. Peace out.